have to remember. It makes sense.
Yeah, we are.
That's what you'll all the rest of you.
Thank you for coming out for this evening's poetry reading. I'm Hank Lazar. I have the privilege of working with the Creative Campus Initiative. It's my pleasure now to introduce to you Jennifer Horn, who will introduce our first reader tonight, Jeanie Thompson.
From book to book, Jeanie Thompson's work goes deeper, engaging with the world in what comes across as an honest but ultimately loving discipline. The discipline of looking clearly, making art, and remaining open to change. Please welcome Alabama poet Jeanie Thompson.
On the bank of the Tennessee, late August. While the sun stained the still river blood red as a tapped vein, I dragged the canoe onto shore, and with afternoon my accomplice, studied plunder. Sifted loose by winter rain, the past uncovered itself by shard and broken point, by flint worked to an almost useful shape. Lifting a black clay fragment, I traced the pattern etched there, felt the electric pulse of human touch. The pile of contraband in the stern grew, scraper, cooking rock, bird point, reminders that water could not claim forms humans made, vessels someone learned to shape, vessels someone shaped and learned to shatter. Leaving the farm at daybreak. The dogs trailing down the lane, I entered mist, drifting above hayfields, burning toward a winter blue sky shredded with clouds. In the hills' rolling breastworks, the well-tended cattle, embedded like stones, watched my progress. At the gate, I stepped from the car, rested my hand on the frigid latch. Once through, my fingers ached on the wheel with the shock of cold. I looked again at the perfect oil of a landscape. The open folds of the pastures on either side seemed to promise comfort. Did the light merely reflect the coming day? I entered the main road and drove away.
Thank you, Jeanie. It's my pleasure to introduce our second reader this evening, Sue Walker. Sue's work exhibits a great respect of and knowledge of form. She's had a long friendship with the writer X.J. Kennedy and learned a great deal from that correspondence. It's my pleasure to introduce and to welcome, as part of our homecoming for two Alabama writers, Sue Walker.
I'm humbled by that introduction. I may not know that person, but I'll take it. More than the mechanics of sound. She said she tried to grab the notes as they entered her ear, clasped them in her fingers, and she wondered if what she heard deeply and surely felt could be true. She wanted to touch middle C gently, the way she touched the lobe of her lover's ear. Note the frequency, 261.626 hertz, as the malleus, incus, and stapes thrilled to the throb and thrum. And she thought how thin summer rain could be, how light falling on her forehead. And she would know like no one else, know with fidelity, the meaning of all she never said when she was alone, when there was more than rain, when there was thunder and the earth shuddered, and on the island of Kyushu the mouth of Aso would open and lava would flow and there would be smoke and there would be fire, and in the heart of it she would feel fear as fascious as longing itself. And she would sit at her piano in the deep fade of light, and one note after another would come, not unlike love, unexpectedly, but surely present. And it would vanish then as soon as pressed. E and A and D, a fugue, and it seemed as if Bach were alive there in her parlor, fashioning statement and answer, the contrapuntal laws, and though she could not touch a single sound the way she could touch B, the note itself, she wanted desperately to believe, even for a moment, that what she heard was real. And that's one sentence. Thank you very much.